In the following narrative, we delve into the life of a prosperous restaurant owner, Samuel Reynolds. Facing a life-altering diagnosis of terminal illness, he sets out on an extraordinary quest that challenges his employees' true characters and reshapes his outlook on life. Brace yourself for a story that questions preconceptions, ultimately delivering a message of redemption and personal transformation. In the vibrant heart of the bustling city, Samuel Reynolds, a man of formidable wealth and reputation, owned a string of exquisite restaurants. For years, his establishments had been celebrated as culinary landmarks, enticing the city's elite with gourmet experiences that were nothing short of magnificent. Samuel had built an empire of fine dining, his name synonymous with opulence and luxury. However, Samuel's illustrious life was about to take an abrupt and unwelcome detour. His wealth and success had shielded him from many of life's harsh realities, but one day, a doctor's grim prognosis shattered his illusion of invincibility. It was a crisp morning when Samuel found himself seated in the doctor's office. The room seemed to close in around him as he listened to the words that changed everything. Cancer, they said, and not just any cancer, but one that had already progressed to an advanced stage. Samuel's heart sank as the doctor informed him that the prognosis was terminal, and the sand in his hourglass was running out swiftly. He was bewildered by the doctor's words, the shock of the diagnosis coursing through his veins like a bitter poison. His world, once composed of Michelin stars and the clinking of champagne flutes, was now reduced to a small, sterile room, and the disheartening prognosis that hung in the air like a specter. As Samuel left the doctor's office, he stepped out into the cacophony of the city that he had so masterfully conquered. The bustling streets and towering skyscrapers seemed alien to him now. The weight of the diagnosis pressed upon his shoulders, forcing him to question the very essence of his existence. He realized that the ornate facade of his restaurants, with their polished silverware and gourmet delicacies, was a mere distraction from life's inexorable truths. The recognition that he had focused so intently on success and the pursuit of wealth that he had neglected the simpler, more profound aspects of life gnawed at his conscience. A new clarity emerged from the depths of despair. Samuel knew he had to transform the remaining moments of his life into something meaningful. In the face of mortality, he was determined to craft a legacy that transcended the confines of his restaurants and resonated with the authenticity of human connection. His journey had begun with a somber diagnosis, but Samuel Reynolds was resolved to embark on a voyage of self-discovery, to confront the true nature of humanity, and to reevaluate the legacy he wished to leave behind. Little did he know that this path would lead him to a remarkable and uncharted destination. A destination where the beggar on the street and the billionaire in the penthouse would find themselves sharing the same table. In the wake of his grim diagnosis, Samuel Reynolds was determined to embark on an extraordinary mission of introspection and transformation. The mirror, once a reflection of his opulent lifestyle, now served as a reminder of his limited time. Samuel's quest for a deeper understanding of life led him to an audacious decision, disguising himself as a homeless man and infiltrating his own restaurants. Clad in tattered clothes, his appearance altered to mimic that of a destitute soul, Samuel set out to experience his restaurants from an entirely different perspective. He knew that this journey would unveil the raw character of his employees and the true soul of his establishments. Samuel was ready to confront any revelations that lay ahead, for he was well aware that the veneer of wealth often concealed the harsh realities of the world. His first stop was the restaurant that bore his name and enjoyed worldwide acclaim. This establishment, with its sweeping city views and a light clientele, represented the pinnacle of Samuel's culinary empire. The restaurant manager, recognizing him as the owner, once welcomed him with utmost deference. However, as a disguised beggar, Samuel received an entirely different reception. As he stepped into the restaurant, shabbily dressed and weathered by life's challenges, the restaurant manager greeted him with disdain. Instead of a warm welcome, Samuel found himself the target of thinly veiled hostility. The restaurant manager demanded that he leave the premises immediately, insinuating that the beggar had no place among the restaurant's elite patrons. Samuel, determined to witness the extent of his employees' callousness, endured the humiliation. He implored the restaurant manager for a morsel of food, explaining that he had not eaten for days. The restaurant manager, unmoved by his plea, suggested that he seek leftovers in the alley behind the restaurant. The patrons looked on, their indifference cutting through Samuel's heart. The encounter at his flagship restaurant had been a harsh initiation into the world of the homeless, and Samuel knew he had to continue his journey. He was in pursuit of a deeper understanding, a revelation about human nature and kindness. As he visited his other restaurants, some of the most shocking revelations were yet to come. What Samuel discovered would expose a range of reactions from his employees: cruelty and apathy, empathy and benevolence. It was a journey that would challenge his preconceptions and transform his perspective on the world. Amid the hardships and hardships, one restaurant, in particular, would shine brightly, thanks to a compassionate manager who recognized the profound importance of empathy and second chances. As Samuel's journey continued, he delved deeper into the heart of his restaurant empire, seeking to unravel the tapestry of his employees' character. It was during his clandestine visits to various establishments that he bore witness to the stark contrast in human behavior. His next destination was an upscale bistro known for its delectable cuisine and impeccable service. Here Samuel, disguised as a homeless man, encountered a waitress named Sarah. She was in her late 20s, with a friendly disposition and a ready smile. When he entered the restaurant, Sarah was the first to notice him. Rather than turning him away or reacting with hostility, Sarah approached Samuel with a genuine warmth that took him by surprise. She spoke to him kindly, acknowledging his presence as if he were any other guest. Her compassion was evident as she discreetly handed him a menu, ensuring he felt valued. Samuel, playing his role convincingly, placed a modest order, expecting to see a shift in Sarah's demeanor once he revealed his inability to pay. However, to his astonishment, Sarah responded with empathy, noting that the special of the day could be covered by the restaurant. She assured him that he deserved a good meal. The act of kindness displayed by Sarah was a striking contrast to the indifference and disdain he had encountered in his previous visits. It led Samuel pondering the nature of empathy and how it could flourish even in the most unexpected circumstances. While his time at this particular bistro had given him hope, Samuel continued his journey. His visits to other restaurants in his portfolio revealed a spectrum of responses from his employees. Some displayed indifference, mirroring the treatment he had received at his flagship establishment, while others exhibited glimpses of empathy. But the shining beacon of compassion remained at the upscale bistro. Over the course of his undercover explorations, Samuel observed the complexity of human nature. He witnessed the power of a single individual to make a profound difference in someone's life through simple acts of kindness. With each revelation, Samuel's desire to facilitate change grew stronger. He understood that he had the means to effect transformation within his own establishments, to cultivate a culture of compassion and empathy among his employees. As he neared the end of his remarkable journey, the decision he would make about the future of his restaurants weighed heavily on his mind. Could he turn his revelations into a catalyst for change? Samuel was about to make a significant choice that would not only impact his establishments, but also leave a lasting mark on the hearts of those who had touched him along the way. His quest was far from over, and the true test of his character lay in the decisions that lay ahead. The revelations from Samuel's covered visits to his own restaurants had left an indelible mark on his heart. His terminal illness had become a catalyst for a transformation he could never have foreseen. As he entered the final chapter of his extraordinary journey, the weight of his decisions bore heavily upon him. The epiphany he had experienced at the upscale bistro, where a compassionate waitress had extended kindness to a homeless stranger, had ignited a spark within Samuel. He realized that he possessed the power to drive meaningful change within his restaurant empire, reshaping its culture and touching the lives of his employees. His first step was to confront the callous managers who had disregarded the plight of the less fortunate. At each restaurant, he met with the managers face to face, revealing his true identity and the purpose behind his undercover visits. The shock on their faces was undeniable as Samuel recounted their behavior towards him during his visits as a homeless man. He made it clear that such cruelty would no longer be tolerated within his establishments. Samuel, once known as a strict but fair boss, exhibited a newfound resolve. He dismissed the uncompassionate managers and replaced them with individuals who had demonstrated empathy and a commitment to treating all guests with respect. With this strategic reshuffling, Samuel aimed to infuse his restaurants with a new ethos, one where kindness, understanding, and the value of second chances would be paramount. He knew that in doing so, he could not only uplift the dining experience for his patrons, but also create a nurturing environment for his staff. In the bistro where he had been treated with warmth by the compassionate waitress, Sarah, he decided to put her in charge. Her ability to see beyond appearances and extend a helping hand to those in need resonated with him deeply. He believed that she could inspire her colleagues to follow her example. Word of Samuel's extraordinary journey spread among his employees. The ones who had exhibited indifference were filled with remorse, while those who had displayed kindness felt vindicated. This transformation rippled through the restaurant chain, opening the eyes of employees to the impact of their actions on others. The power of personal growth and redemption was at the forefront of Samuel's mission. He offered support and mentorship to employees who wished to embark on a path of change and self-improvement. He provided opportunities for them to embrace empathy, demonstrating that everyone deserved a second chance to become better versions of themselves. As the months passed, Samuel witnessed his vision taking root. His restaurants were no longer just culinary havens, but places where empathy and compassion thrived. His loyal patrons noticed a shift and embraced it, returning not only for the delectable dishes, but for the warm, welcoming atmosphere. Samuel Reynolds, the wealthy restaurant owner facing a grim diagnosis, had embarked on a journey that had irrevocably altered the course of his life and his legacy. He had leveraged his privilege to create a positive change, using his experiences as a mirror to reflect the true character of his staff. The impact of his transformation rippled far beyond his restaurants. Samuel's story inspired others, reminding them of the power of empathy, redemption, and the opportunity for growth and change, even in the twilight of life. In his final days, Samuel found solace in the knowledge that his legacy would be defined not by the wealth he had amassed, but by the kindness he had sown. His quest had been a testament to the remarkable capacity for transformation, a beacon of hope in a world often marred by indifference. As Samuel Reynolds drew his last breath, he did so with a heart filled with contentment, knowing that his restaurants would continue to be places of not just culinary excellence, but also of compassion and second chances. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and this other story that may be appearing on the screen will most likely move you as well. Have a nice day and see you in the next video.